All right, what's going on, guys? I'm Jack.
I'm Doug.
And welcome back to the Mimuvi podcast.
Speaking from another one of Apple's Pro products that they recently released, have you heard anything about their Pro display?
I have not. That is is it just the monitor? Is it
It's just a monitor.
Just a monitor.
Yeah, $5,000.
$5,000.
$5,000 for just the monitor.
Little do they know I can go get a 1 millisecond response time, 144 hertz for $300, 4K.
Well, yeah. A lot of average consumers are complaining about the price point of the screen. You know, like not a lot of people are understanding it. But actually, I did a little bit of research. I've seen a couple videos on YouTube about it. Surprisingly, and you're gonna think I'm crazy for saying this, but the $5,000 screen is actually pretty well priced for what it is.
So what is this magical whiteboard screen coming up with?
It's basically, I think it does have 1 millisecond response time. It's got DisplayPort, it's got USB-C.
Is it 144 hertz?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But the thing is, it's meant to be a reference monitor. So it's not just like a run-of-the-mill monitor, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be like for film companies and stuff like that.
Right, so when you're shooting on reds and things like that.
Yeah, right. If you're 8K footage, you know, if you can't view it.
Why are you looking at a 1080p screen at your 8K footage?
Right, that'd be silly. And so Apple released this, and I looked into it, and screens that are like probably not even like this big can cost up to like $8,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, versus Apple's, I think it's like a 32-inch display. Don't quote me on that because I'm not sure exactly how big it is, but it's at least 24 inches, and something like that would be at least $10,000 in a reference monitor. So they're actually making it pretty affordable.
Yeah, because I did know reference monitors were quite expensive. So, I mean, I guess on that end of things, I think Apple's like monitor, especially with the iMac, the MacBooks, they've always looked good. Yeah. They've always had a different look to them than regular monitors. Yeah. I think when you take it and look at it, I don't know if it's the glass they use, maybe it's different, but I think it just looks good.
Yeah. Since like 2015, when they changed their screens from 1080 to like the Retina, which is like the 2880 by 1440.
No, it's 1520 or something like that.
Something around there.
Yeah.
Right. It looks awesome.
Right. It does, and I actually love my Retina display.
Oh my gosh, it's seriously one of the best things.
This is going to sound weird. I can tell the difference in 4K footage and 1080p footage. When you're looking at it on a screen, I can't tell the difference between 4K and that Retina display.
No, honestly, I can't.
Doug, are you filming in 8K yet?
No, Jack. My camera at home only records 1080p.
Oh. Well, hey. So nobody besides Marcus Brownlee in like the standard video industry of YouTube, things like that, is quite filming in 8K yet.
Right.
And I definitely think it's a great format, and I think it looks amazing. Yeah. But it's expensive.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm thinking very few people are even filming in like 4K now. Like YouTube videos, there's a lot of 4K and stuff like that.
I think 4K should now be the standard.
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable.
I think as we're transitioning from that 2018 to 2019, but now we're in 2019, as we continue forward, I think 4K really does need to be the standard. It just looks so good.
It does.
And while a lot don't have 4K TVs, even just being able to downscale that footage, it just looks a lot like more crisp.
Yeah. Personally, that's something I do with like some of my friends' footage. Like they'll ask me to edit it for them, and like they give me some 4K, I'll downscale it to 1080. But one thing that I think would help 4K kind of like overtake 1080 and become the standard is if people started, now this is going to sound a little weird, but like starting to price like 4K monitors and stuff like that a little less. The technology has been around for a while. People can do this. I mean, like you don't like, sure, when like color TVs first came out, they were super expensive, but after a while, they kind of became the standard, and people were like, oh, well, we can't charge like a couple grand for these anymore. That's the standard. So I think if people move in that direction, it'll be way easier.
Yeah, I definitely think so, because a lot of like non-Apple laptops and things like that,
Yeah.
a lot of the higher end ones are all coming with 4K screens now.
Yeah.
They're all 4K touchscreen, and I think that's really a market that's being missed because my Apple TV can play 4K.
Yeah.
My TV doesn't do 4K.
Well.
But I know like one of the gaming monitors I have does 4K and things like that.
Okay.
But there's not a lot of content in 4K besides YouTube, some Netflix and things like that. I know because a lot of TV shows and that they're all filmed in either film or cameras that are well beyond capable of filming
for sure.
4K, but they just don't produce it to 4K
Yeah.
because, well, one, cable companies I don't think it will ever be able to do 4K with those standard copper wire that they have.
No, that's
just
another
rough.
reason that I think it's not really the standard yet. I mean, there's so much technology that we're gonna have to update before we can start like streaming 4K on antennas and stuff like that and doing this. But
I think cable has to die first. As much as who, besides the people that were born before the late 80s, who still uses cable like on a daily basis?
yeah, I definitely think cable is something that's kind of on the out, especially because it has those technical limitations.
Right.
But
It's also expensive.
It's really expensive. But I hope that there's a way that we can maybe not update TV, if that kind of makes sense, but find some other service or something that we can still access things like sports television and stuff
Right.
like
Well,
that.
I think that's what
But-
YouTube TV is doing.
Oh,
YouTube
really?
TV offers is all the channels cable does. You didn't hear about that?
No, I didn't
They
hear anything
offer
about that.
HBO, they offer, sports networks, they offer all that, and it's a quarter of the price of paying for, these boxes, and you can still DVR stuff and record things and watch it all back, and it's all just through the internet. It's all through YouTube.
Wow.
That's why I
Yeah,
think
that's hard to beat.
It's like why would I go and buy a cable box, say as a new homeowner?
Okay.
Why am I going to go install cable boxes in my house, have wires run through all my house, have all this done when I could pay less and just get good internet and be able to stream it just through a smart TV?
Yeah, that's...
Because I think at this point, if you're buying a new home, you're not putting one of those old box TVs in it.
No, right.
Right, so everything has the capability of a Chromecast, a Fire TV, things like that.
Right, if it has an HDMI port, you can use it.
Exactly, and there is no point in buying a cable box and paying those ridiculously high cable prices for that. Doug,
Wait.
have you ever heard of the YouTube channel, The Round Table?
Yeah, I have.
Well, their very own Shane Verkest will be here with us next week.
Oh, really? What is he going to be here to talk about?
He's going to be here to talk about an animated short for our company, Mimuvi.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's really exciting, actually.
Right, and I'm super excited for him to be here. He's a super great friend of mine, and actually a future roommate. So I'm very excited for the future.
Yeah, all right. Well, you guys will see him next week.
So I think, Doug, that might just be all the time we have this week.
I think it is, Jack.
All right, well, I'm Jack,
I'm Doug.
and we'll see you next week on the My Movie Podcast.